Hi, my beautiful friends. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscriptions. You guys are amazing. So I just wanted to give you a quick update as we enter Leo season. You will definitely be getting both general, right, career, spiritual readings, as well as love readings this month, I promise, okay? Last month was the only month I was going to take off from that. Also, Soul Medicine, which I introduced last month, is now live on my site, and you can book it right through there, so you don't even have to email me. That service includes the soul spread, as well as 5 channeled custom affirmations, as well as a candle designed to send all energy that is not yours back to its original place. I believe I also added to my site that you can just purchase 5 channeled affirmations like a la carte, like if you just wanted affirmations. I'm pretty sure I put that in there. If I didn't, email me. That's on my list of things to add to the site. Also, as a sidebar, so as you probably noticed, all my comments are approval only. That's so that I can read them all and screen people that are like, not being kind. With that being said, you guys are free people and obviously you're allowed to cross-watch all you want. However, do you really think it's kind for you to be leaving slanderous comments on someone that you're cross-watching? So when people of that actual sign go to watch the video for themselves, have to look at your comments, honestly, it's been Capricorn, calling Capricorn this kind of bitches and hoes and whatever. Don't do that because I'm never going to approve your comment. So you're just wasting your time, okay? And it's not because there aren't people that are, irritating or whatever. It's just that the video that is for the people of their sign, that's their safe space. That's their space to go and look at things. So please save your slanderous comments. Share the link to your homegirl or your dude that knows the drama and drop the comment there. I just don't need the shade. Also, some people have been asking why I don't show my face, or they want to see my face, or my nails are too focused in the videos, and I have news for you. I'm always going to paint my nails. I've always gotten my nails done for years and years, and it's something I love to do. So if you really find it that distracting, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do anything to appease you. Also, I do not show my face because the readings are about the cards. Even my private clients know I do not show my face in their readings. My face is for these kind of discussions. And as the year goes on, probably closer to January, I will be doing more videos where I show my face, but I will not be using cards in those videos. When I channel information through cards, I don't like to have my eyes on camera. That's just my preference, and that's how it's going to be. Let's see. Anything else? I love you guys. Oh, anyone that has been a private client. I mean, I could email you directly, but I'm just going to put it here. Anyone that's been a private client, please, if you so wish, send me a testimonial on, a review of your reading. I know a lot of you do send me feedback, but I don't think it's appropriate for me to use your private email as a testimonial without your permission. So if you were a private client of mine and you would like to send me a testimonial for me to put on my website, please do. Okay, I would love to hear from you, and other people would as well, about your experiences with me. Intuitive counseling via Skype will be coming back soon. I have to move in September, October, so I just need time to settle myself before I get that back rolling, but that will be back rolling. The medicine box I talked about in another video will get jumped up probably before Christmas. And there will be a reading package where you get a soul reading and intuitive counseling as well. So there's a lot of new services coming, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys. If you're interested in being in contact with me more often than the twice monthly videos, Twitter is the best place to see like what information I'm channeling and just more of my personality and who I am. Twitter's the best place for that. Instagram would be next, and then Facebook would probably be like last on that list. I have Facebook strictly because I know a lot of people are on it, not necessarily because I use it. All right, let's get into Leo season. Bye. All right, Libra, I was just about to say something about your energy because you guys know I connect to your energy and this card fell out. For some of you, this could be, a person outside of yourself, but more than anything, based on what I'm feeling, I really think this month, Libra, you're putting a precedence on what you know intuitively. and being willing to listen to the non-physical, being willing to listen to the impressions that you pick up on. I almost to the Drake melody, I almost said, wow, I'm spacing right now. It's like instead of him saying wearing less and going out more, it's like talking less and divining more, because underneath the deck we have the Hierophant. So, this to me is a spiritual commitment, right? You needing to really ask yourself what it is, what rules and values you found your life on, and what you use to motivate your life this month. This definitely makes sense in my opinion, coming up off of Cancer season, because Cancer season can be kind of like muddy, especially for an air sign. But you understood that there was emotions there that you needed to experience and therefore heed. So with the Queen of Cups, this is a very reflective time and a need to just feel into it. And like, my body is very much, tapped in right now. I think you guys are very tapped in. It almost feels as though, like, how when you float in any body of water, you feel weightless. And at the same time, you can like feel where the water meets your body. But if you go into a meditative state, you start to lose that, right? Like if any of you have ever gone to a deprivation tank, it's actually on my list of things to do. Maybe I'll take myself for my birthday. That's kind of how it feels. It's like you're testing the perimeter between what is real and what is non-physical, and you're finding your balance there this month, Libra. I mean, that's what you do anyways, right? Libra always finds the balance. But it's because you're understanding now that there has to be a lesson here. You understand now is the time to learn. Now is the time to really ask yourself, what rules are you living by? And who formulated those rules? Now, it doesn't really matter what the answer is. You just have to figure out what it is that you actually stand by and then see if it aligns with you. And if it doesn't, or what you know, or what you divine, or what you intuit. And if it doesn't, then you need to get rid of it. And if it does, then, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I really feel like most of the messages that are going to come for you this month, Libra, are going to be non-physical. They're going to be things that you perceive, things that kind of hit you on an energetic level. And, for some of you, this totally could be a Queen of Cups or, essentially a man too. Someone that's super intuitive, someone that comes to you and brings you the energy of, a spiritual conundrum. I don't know why I use that word. I think it's because you're going to think it out, Libra. I think that this person is going to come through with their morals and their doctrines, and they're going to say, this is what I believe based on my non-physical experiences with X, Y, and Z. And you're going to sit back, Libra, and think, well, here's what I've experienced. Here's what you've experienced. So let me see if I can have a similar experience, or let me see where the two meet. Yeah. Because you're realizing that true strength comes through faith. True resiliency comes through knowing oneself, comes through really being able to acknowledge the power of faith. And I know that seems so silly because faith is so like intangible, but there's levels to faith too. Because we can have faith today about like a certain number of subjects, but we realize we don't have faith on all subjects. And I know I catch myself with things like that all the time. Like I'll start to be worried about something and I'm like, why are you worried if you have faith? And you realize, oops, like, excuse me, whoops, I was still playing myself in some capacity. And what's interesting about the strength too, she always has the infinity symbol above her, understanding that she knows that through patience, through kindness, through devotion, she has infinite access to source. And therefore, she never needs to bite or claw for her what's due to her, you know? She just has it. She just seizes it, you know? Again, not by force, because she's taming that lion. Okay? It's almost like you get more flies with honey or bees with honey type of thing than vinegar. You know? It's like you're seeing this month how being soft and being gentle with not only yourself but the people around you actually puts you in a lot more stable, strong position than anything else. All right, Libra, this is pretty interesting. Definitely the message that I've given so far speak of the theme of this month, because we do have the High Priestess as the overall energy. And it's interesting because the energy that you're being asked to leave behind is very quick and very action-oriented. And all the energy that you're tapped into this month first of all, is water, emotional energy. And I see this really as a month of, like, I want to say sobering up, but I don't necessarily mean that in a you know, drug, alcohol, addiction type of way. It can be, but I mean sobering up just from, like, one, the emotions of Cancer season, needing to, like, stomach those. Because sometimes, you know, every person is different, every sign is different, you know, every person, depending on where they are in their path, is different. However, this is kind of feeling to me like Cancer season was like message after message after message, and it was a lot of stuff that was hitting you, and you weren't necessarily ready to, like, I want to say embody the message. It's like you heard it, right? You heard it. It went into your mind, but now this month, it's traveling into your heart, and it's traveling into, you know, that part of you, that intuitive, divine part of you that understands things on a much grander scale. And I think that you're spending most of this month, Libra, really looking deep within and asking yourself, like I was talking about in the beginning with the Hierophant, like, what is important to me? What do I know? What do I not know? Because, you know, the High Priestess also talks about secrets. And I don't necessarily see you or anybody else keeping secrets from you. Like, that's not the energy I'm saying I have here. It's just that, you know, we keep secrets from ourselves better than anybody else. And that's the kind of thing I see coming to light this month. Because you have the Five of Cups in the heart, in your heart energy this month, with the rune Wisdom. And the Five of Cups also talks about something that, like, happened a while ago that you're just really still lost and upset about. And with the rune Wisdom there, it's like, it's almost as if it's saying, you know better than to be upset about this. It's like, you know, at a logical level that, like, you can never lose anything that is meant for you, and any loss that you experience is really a gain somewhere else, but you're still upset because you're just now moving through it on an emotional level. It's like something that has happened quite some time ago. Okay? I really think that this month you're focused on, like I said before, a new level of strength, a new level of success in your career. But first, like, I don't think that you're going to take any action really this month. I mean, obviously you're out doing things. But this month is not so much action-oriented with your spiritual life and your career, and much more internal and coming to terms with what has been. Because until we emote and have catharsis through what we have experienced and what, you know, revelations have come up to us and we've acknowledged, we cannot move through them, you know, we cannot move through them fully and move on. So the energy that you're being asked to leave behind this month, super interesting. The Chariot with the Eight of Wands. So, like, this is such a fast energy. And it's almost like you know, because the Eight of Wands is spirit, right? And it can talk about like, you know, messages and communication and love, but also something very passionate, and it's very fast. And the rune that we have on the Eight of Wands is female, and the rune that we have on the Chariot is protection. So this is almost saying to me, right, that you need to not run, okay? For those of you that run from your emotions or run from people, situations, experiences that evoke a large scale of emotions from you. Because even though, you know, the High Priestess is more intuitive than she is emotional, we had the Queen of Cups in the beginning, and with the Hierophant, which kind of gives the same message of like, you know, a very emotionally in tune, tapped in person. And this is saying like you can no longer protect yourself from what needs to be known. And with the rune female here, that just tells me that like you receive a lot, right? Because the feminine energy is more receptive, the feminine energy is more porous. And I would say also be mindful of not only the people that you're around, because people can send you telepathic messages without being around you, obviously. But be mindful of what messages are getting sent to you, again, on a emotional, etheric, dream, non-physical type level. Like, what messages is your spirit receiving, right? And are you either, one, protecting yourself and or blocking yourself from heeding spirit's messages? Like, have you created a block so that you don't hear them, right? Because that's what needs to go. Spirit's saying if you want to advance, if you want to move on, you have to stop protecting yourself from what you learned last month, or rather in Cancer season, and what you just learned overall about what it takes to be victorious. To truly be victorious in this life and on this planet, especially as things advance, you need to be open to divine messages and your own intuition, okay? Nobody will ever be able to validate you, and you cannot protect yourself from going about things that way, because that's not going to serve you. The only way that you will advance is by allowing the messages to flow. But I would also say be mindful of making sure when you go into any type of meditation or any process and where you're going to receive divine messages or downloads, as I call them sometimes, make sure you're protected in the sense that you have a spiritual practice and you, you know, say things like, you know, one of my favorites is I'm safe, grounded, and secure. Not saying that like someone's attacking you by any means. I just think that it's important that we remember that we affirm that we are safe when we heed our intuition, that we are safe, okay? Yeah, Libra, I really see you pumping the brakes this month because you know that it's time. And there's a lot of energetic portals opening this month. So I almost see this as kind of like you need this last assessment. It's like you need to take in all this information that you've been getting and really sit with it and allow it to change you. Okay? The energy that's now available to you, the door that was once closed that's now open, we have the Fool, clarified by the Emperor with the rune Luck. So, you know, first of all, when I do clarifiers, I ask for the root, like what caused the Fool, right? What caused the Fool? The Emperor. Okay? The Emperor is very strong and structured and dedicated and, you know, inflexible and a little bit stoic. So I think that you've done the work, Libra, in terms of like getting your outside world, getting your 3D world, getting your physical world in order. I think you've been very lucky in being able to, and when I say lucky, I mean you did the work. You've been very lucky and gracious in everything that you've been able to build. This also is telling me, though, that you kind of like, that's why you don't need to focus on your physical reality right now and how to build structures and how to make more money and all that kind of stuff. That's not the focus right now, because due to all the work that you have done on being this strong, steadfast, I want to say like fixture. And I don't mean that in like a negative way, like, cause not that, you know, no one's paying attention to you and you're just there. It's just like, you're a staple. Like, people can count on you. You've created something for yourself and the people that you love, your family, your friends, that is truly strong and rooted. You know what I mean? And because of that, you are now able to start a brand new journey that I think is going to be a lot more in alignment with who you really are. But first, there's some more things that you need to mourn. And overall, to be honest, I'm really feeling like this is you guys realizing that you cannot run on logic alone. That you cannot always just talk it out. You know, that you can't always just like act on logic or rationalize things to get them through. Okay? I mean, you are ruled by Venus. So you do like, you know, being very, you know, luxurious and things, but not the way Taurus does. It's a little different for you guys. But still, I mean, Jupiter is still in your sign. So I had Jupiter in my sign last year. And it's a very auspicious time, but I find that the gifts of Jupiter come once Jupiter is gone. It's like when Jupiter is there, it just keeps blowing you out, blowing you out, blowing you out. It's like everything that you knew, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it's like your consciousness. It blows out your consciousness. It blows out the walls in your heart. It blows out everything. You're like, wow, this is available to me, and this is available to me, and this is available to me. And that's exactly the energy that I'm talking about here. But now's not yet the time to seize it. It is just becoming available to you. Okay? And the Fool for me is always something that you've never done before. A brand new chapter, a brand new phase. So if there's something that, you know, you've been working on, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a new level of being, a new level of knowing, all because you have been focused on creating that foundation. So now that you're secure financially, now that you're secure in your home, now that you're secure with your family, now is the time for you to go back to tending to your emotional world. And you don't need any answers. You don't need, you know, someone coming in and doing anything for you. This is not someone coming in and hurting you. This is just you spending time in reflection. You spending time in between worlds. You spending time paying attention to your dreams. Okay? And I don't think you're saying much this month, Libra, either. I think it's just like you're taking it all in. Okay? Your energy for this month as it relates to career and your spiritual path. In your head, we have the Temperance. Again, in your heart, we have the Five of Cups with the rune, where am I? Wealth? No, Wisdom, excuse me. And in your foundation, the Page of Cups. So with Page of Cups in your foundation, it's interesting. All the Cups cards are right with you. So interesting. With the Page of Cups in your foundation, I think a lot of you are realizing you can't continue to live a life that isn't founded on emotional nourishment. And that as much as you do express how you feel through words and, you know, your dedication to the people around you and the things that you do, you're also realizing that if you want to feel loved and appreciated, you too need to show love and appreciation for others in an emotional way. So everyone loves different, and there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. However, I'm feeling, Libra, that some of you want more, right? Want to feel more on an emotional level. And you're finally recognizing that this month. And I think you're also seeing that for you to be receiving of this kind of love, right? And receiving of this very compassionate, empathetic embrace. For it to come from the outside world, you first need to give it to yourself. And I think that's what you're doing this month. And that's why I think that you have the Five of Cups with wisdom in your heart, because you're like, wow, you know, I've been through so much. You know, I've been through these 3 experiences, these 3 cups that really kicked the shit out of me. And I know that I know better, wisdom. I know that this was all a lesson and that I'm coming for more. And it's interesting because you have the 2 cups here, and you have 2 cups here, and then you have 1 cup here, which adds to 5, 6, 7, 8. Altogether, it adds to 8. And the 8 of Cups is about walking away and about moving on, going for something better. And I think that's exactly true. When you align all these, you are going to move on to something better. And we have the 6 of Swords, which is, again, about movement and moving on as well. In your head with the Temperance, you know, be patient with yourself. Be kind with yourself. As you can see, it's a long journey to the crown. You know? But it's not a dark journey. It's not an arduous journey. It's just a journey. And it requires patience. That's why, you know, he's taking his time. He's enlightened. He's aware. He's in tune with the Holy Trinity, to that triangle on his chest. He understands that mind, body, spirit, or, you know, physical, non-physical, it's all there. He understands that. 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. So I already said you have a grip. You have a grip on your physical world. Now it's time to dip in your toe. You have to be willing to traverse your emotional waters if you want others to. You need to be patient with yourself and gentle with yourself and give yourself time to create change in the way that you think about emotions and the way that you emote, if you want others to also have that same patience with you. I think it's like really a month, Libra, of you recognizing your needs, acknowledging your true emotional needs, and therefore then being able to express them to others. Because again, the High Priestess, looking deep within. And look, behind that is the 6 of Pentacles, which is all about readjusting your energetic boundaries and figuring out where you give your power away and where you're supplying a lot of power and where the flow of energy is in your life. With the Page of Cups and the Foundation, for me, this is just you in a very childlike way. I really feel it sounds so silly, but like, it's just like, I want to be loved. And like the way a child wants to be loved. Like, I just want someone, obviously not like to pat me on the head, but just like, you know, you want a good job. You know, I want to like, thanks honey, you did great today, type of thing. Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting. And as I say these things, like, I'm so like, it's like innocent. It's very innocent. It's very innocent. And I was just looking at the water on the Temperance, and there's a certain current. There's a curve to the current that's in this water, right? And for me, it's almost saying like, it almost seems like when he dips his foot in the water, that's what creates this curve. Because it comes off his foot and then curves strong. So all you have to do is just take one step into your emotional realm, and you can change the current or the course of how you deal with your emotions. I really think this month, Libra, you're recognizing that as much as you are an air sign and, you know, you can be detached and, you know, want to just talk everything out, I think you're realizing that you know, you want to feel it out too. You want an opportunity to really heal and ingest the wisdom and heal yourself, because you know that you can't continue the way that you've continued. Because like I said, you know you've already built, you know, you built your house on a strong foundation. So now it's just a matter of time to work on your inner world. And I think that you understand that. Some of you also may have been focused on being a provider for a long time. Like if you're a woman, you've been the father and the wife, you know, and the mother in the home, and now that's not the case anymore. So it's kind of like you just, in a good way, you know, you have a partner now or whatever, or you're supported by people, and you realize now that you can be soft. You can emote. You can break down. You can ask for help. Because that's what's going to be required in your next phase. The next phase is not just brute force. The next phase is not just, I can do it, I got this, I'm capable. Like, we all know you're capable. But what are you capable of feeling? What are you capable of showing another without words, without actions? Okay? Are you able to accept your partner or the people in your life's telepathic communications? Spirit's advice for you this month, which I always say, this is the energy you need to use to tap into the door that's not open. We have the Six of Swords. I think these fell out together. With the Judgment. And the rune I have here is Healing. So again, a huge message here on, you know, the action that's taking place, I feel, is really more internal. Because the Six of Swords talks about leaving behind a state of thinking and a way of thinking. And it's kind of bittersweet. It's something that you have a lot of attachment to, even though it's not serving you. So what is it that you've lived your life upon? Like, what way of thinking, mentality, stream of thought have you focused most of your life on that you've realized is no longer serving you, and as much as you've grown attached to it, as much as you are used to it, you know that you have to let it go and heal from it. Also, didn't I say before about not running? This also is a theme here too. Like, you can't run from healing. You can't run from judgment. Like, it'll always find you. And I don't mean judgment in like a nasty way, like people are casting judgment on you. I just mean in the sense that, like, Spirit sees all. You know, God sees all. There is no, you can never run from what you do non-physically. You can never run from the thoughts that you hold, because when you hold those thoughts, they shall be, period. So I also see this as you moving beyond judging yourself. And therefore, when you move beyond judging yourself and accept healing, because it's almost like you don't really, like, obviously you want to heal, because, I mean, you have a lot of healing energy here, but you're also kind of resistant to it because you realize that you're not going to be able to keep, you know, talking negatively to yourself and, you know, being kind of like, I just want to say airy. Like, you realize that this next phase of your life is really going to require you paying attention to how you feel on an emotional level, and not making it a levity, right? Because that's one thing about air signs. Like, I love air signs. Do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Okay? All of them. However, y'all just talk about ideas and things and thoughts that you have, and I'm not saying they're not genuine. They totally are. But it's not cathartic. It could be honest, but it's not cathartic. And for someone like me who has a Scorpio moon, after a while that can feel shallow. Or I'm going to feel like, High Priestess, you're hiding something from me. Not because you really are, but just because you keep it very surface. Because air and water together, I mean, what does that make? That makes like a monsoon, you know? So I think that you're a little afraid that if you do tap in to your emotions, like, it'll turn into a whirlwind. But the only way it's going to turn into a whirlwind is if you ignore them. Okay? So step by step. One foot in front of the other. Just take it day by day. No one's rushing you. No one's judging you. You need to, though, move beyond the judgment of helping yourself. And I think that you also need to move beyond the judgment of healing. I think some of you, potentially, maybe you want to seek a counselor. I'm not saying that you need one, but for those of you that want to seek professional help of some kind for whatever it is that you're finally addressing, don't judge yourself. Okay? I see a therapist. I know a lot of other people that see a therapist. I know some people can't afford it. If you can't afford it, don't bother. Go see someone that you can afford. But it's really important to have a non-biased non-biased party to speak to in your life, just about the things that come up, okay? So I highly encourage that if that's something that you're longing for. The most likely outcome at the end of Leo season in August, we have the Death card with the Knight of Swords, clarified by the rune Journey. So, big endings this month. I really see this as whatever messages or insights you receive from all of this inner work that you're doing, from all of this, allowing this healing energy to permeate your mind and dropping into your heart, which I don't think you're going to have to put that much effort into it. You're really just going to have to stop trying to talk it out. Stop trying to talk it out. Stop trying to just go all the time, and just take a pause. If you just take a pause and spend the afternoon by yourself and say, you know what am I feeling? I think that resurrection will come, because that's what Spirit's advice for you is anyways. Judgment talks about resurrecting and looking at things that have been and how maybe you don't want to go back there. And that's the whole thing. You need to heal your mentality and your way that you thought about yourself and about emotions, I feel, and leave it behind so that you can seize this new opportunity that is really founded and strong. This is all part of your journey. This is all part of your journey. There's a lot of big energy coming this month, astrologically. 8/8 is the Lion's Gate. The new moon is tomorrow, the 23rd. And the big eclipse is August 21st. So be willing to surrender. Be willing to take charge of your life on all levels. And remember that your inner world reflects your outer world. So the only place you actually need to take charge is inside your life, inside your being. Okay? This journey will always usher us times where we need to surrender and be transformed. And I really see this overall as you transforming the way that you think, Libra, based on you finally taking some time to acknowledge how you feel and the way that you process emotions. Because I think that this, for a lot of you, this could be like you telling your partner or your friends, like, hey, this is how I feel. And I know I don't usually express that often, but I want you to know because, I've never told anybody before. And that will set you free, okay? That will set you free. The affirmation that I have for you: I take a deep breath and allow myself to relax. My whole body calms down. See, we're talking about stillness already. It does not matter what others people say or do. What matters is how I choose to react and what I choose to believe about myself. So again, this is not an answer that can come from outside of you. Like I said, over here is kind of saying, like, don't try to talk this out with somebody right away. Okay? Don't try to just get over it and move over it either. Take your time. I'm almost seeing this as like a new reality had set in, 4 months ago or so. Maybe 4 weeks when Cancer season started. And you're just now emotionally catching up to how it all makes you feel. And you're realizing that, wow, I feel this way. And you know what? I don't want to think about things the way I used to. Because that doesn't keep me as tuned into my emotions. So I understand now that I need to bow down to spirit, to my emotions. Like, you will never lose your grip on your logic. Do not worry about that. You will never lose your grip on your way of being. That's who you are. But we all can use a time and a practice of emoting more and experiencing more catharsis. So don't be afraid to be changed forever. That's evolution and that's growth. Libra, I hope you find this very helpful, and I will be back soon with your August love readings. Peace.